our Sens Central standouts after a 5-2 Sens win in Pittsburgh in a game that the Senators led from start to finish. Well, since the 4-minute and 24 second mark where Ridley Gregg scored his second goal of the season, Martian, we pretty much did a team effort today on our Sens Central standouts because there's not the three of us. We got the three spots in the card. So let's just pull them up, and I want you to go 1 through 3. Why are these the three guys who led the way for the Sens?
Oh, you want me to go through all three of them here? Okay, yeah. Well, my first selection there was Brady Tkachuk. Obviously, I mentioned it earlier. He was doing his thing. That's captainship right there. And when he goes out there and he sets the tone in the game, and he's getting involved and he's making plays down low. 2-goal effort tonight for Brady. Obviously, that first one we obviously talked about as well, where he made that nice placement shot. But that second goal, Ross, those hands in front of the net after Tim Stützle takes that nice low shot, he makes 2 or 3 little stick handle moves and then gets it to his backhand and fires it up there. That was a goal scorer's goal, and Brady was feeling it tonight. So he was an obvious standout for us here. 16-27 on the ice. So not a ton of ice time. I think that's, right around a little bit below his average, I feel like, but he was effective while he was out there. And then same thing for Claude Giroux. And this is a guy who the last couple games has looked incredible, right, Ross? Like the plays, same thing, man. Like he just makes plays. Every time he gets the puck, he doesn't give it away. He finds one of his teammates. He is constantly communicating with guys on the bench and on the ice. So him tonight with those 2 assists, 2 really nice ones, and then the 5 shots on goal +2, 16:39 time on ice.
And not only that, Martian, and I wish that the NHL app and everything could figure itself out, because I'm really getting sick and tired of not being able to click on the advanced stats in the game, because I love looking at the face-off summary every game, because I know that Claude Giroux went 67% in the dot. I want to know how many times he beat Sidney Crosby, because he was going up against him head-to-head quite a bit in the dot. Obviously frustrated him enough to take that cross-checking penalty in the second period, but I feel like he just had his way with that battle. He was in Sid's head all night.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like him and Sidney Crosby have had this rivalry with each other. Obviously, when Giroux was part of the Flyers, they were playing the Penguins all the time. Same state, big rivalry, and him and Sid would go head to head, and there was a massive hatred there. And I believe this hatchet may have been buried since. I think there's a story that's been out there about them being on Team Canada together, and the other teammates making them sit together for a lunch so that they could basically bury the hatchet for the tournament while they were, in the Olympics. But Claude Giroux versus Sidney Crosby, I'll take Claude all day long. He is such a pesky guy. I feel like, Crosby, there's a certain way to get him rattled, and whatever it is, Claude has it mastered. And obviously that penalty was a prime example of Claude Giroux just being able to totally get in Sidney Crosby's kitchen, and obviously drawing that penalty was perfect.
One of only a few penalties tonight, which was a nice change from what we've seen over the last couple of games. Ottawa went 1 for 3 on the power play, and Pittsburgh went 0 for 2, and there was no 4-on-4 coincidental penalties. It was a pretty evenly matched game from the official standpoint of letting guys play. And wouldn't you look at that, I felt like this game had a pretty good amount of flow to it. So hopefully we get to see more of that as officials also settle in to the speed of the game and the season in itself. So just a well-played game tonight. Obviously, Ottawa was on the ropes in the first period, but were able to hang on and then take advantage when it struck. We didn't even mention Tristan Jarry got pulled in this game after 25 minutes. He allowed 6 goals on 9 shots. Magnus Hellberg, he of 100% win certainty when playing in Ottawa, 1-0, gets 15 saves on 17 shots. And I didn't even think about tweeting out the record of former Sens goalies playing against Ottawa. So I think that in itself means that I've grown as a person. Yeah. And the Senators have, because they're not being stonewalled by Robin Leonard, Brian Elliott, and Craig Anderson anymore. Maybe that's why I haven't done it, Pilsy or Martian, because all 3 of those guys are out of the league.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I think we can pretty much put that one away. I hope in the recent past, I believe that the Sens have done quite well against their former goalies. So hopefully that's not one you have to keep bringing up.
No. I've almost deleted.
Oh, you have it. You have it loaded.
No. I don't think I'm going to use it anymore.
Okay.
There has to be because I get tweets every time.
Yeah.
Think,
It's
here's the it was bad. I think it was like 4 regulation wins in 34 games.
no, it was really bad. I know.
So yeah, we got to clean that up as
I
well.
don't think it applies though when a guy comes in relief after the other goalie gets tugged. At that point, it's the Sens are winning. So
What else stood out to you from this game, Martian?
I talked about really Greg. I think Jake Sanderson is just another guy you can always bring up in almost every situation. Saw some people in the chat saying that, this is a guy who deserves a little credit. So I'll go with Jake Sanderson again. I got to assume he had a massive amount of ice time. Let me look quick. 25, so almost 26 minutes, 25:58 for him.
If the NHL app wasn't broken, I could break that down into by periods for you. But I know he played over 9 minutes in the first.
Yeah, and especially on the Travis Hamonic goal, you notice like it was a really good shift in general by that first line before Jake Sanderson took control. But when he did, he skated around the entire zone, carried it behind the net and around, and then he made that pass to Travis Hamonic for the one-timer, which ended up going in the net. So obviously Jake Sanderson's going to be massively important, even more than before now that Shabbat's out. So if he can keep playing like this, I'm feeling much better about how things are going to go for them while missing Shabbat.
Yeah, and maybe we'll get into that in the after dark. If not, Pilsy and I'll break that down on Monday's Locked On Senators, what the decor is going to look like going forward. Because, once it got to 4-1 and then 5-1 31 seconds later, then the ice time opened up a little bit. You saw Matt and Paolo and Clevin get a couple extra shifts. But at the end of the day, this was a 4 defenseman game. And Martian, I know you've been tough on Jacob Bernard-Docker, but this was his best game of the year easily, playing over 21 minutes +2. I know he took a penalty that we didn't love. It was delay a game where he just kind of panicked and flipped it over the boards, but he was tasked to step up tonight time-wise, and I thought he did an adequate job of it for sure.
Yeah, the best thing about that for me is that you barely noticed him tonight, and that's a good sign, especially with a defensive style defenseman like him. So not noticing a player who's playing defense is a good thing.
And I'm not going to act like there's sweeping, specifics that we can put in for Matt and Paolo or Clevin's game because they played so little. But I did notice that they were being hard in front of their own net, pushing guys out of the way. And that's what Ottawa's going to need. They've got the skill guys on the back end. And oh my goodness, what was your reaction when Chychrun takes that shot right in the oblique? I was like,
oh my God. That's Panic City. Because if you lose him, things are definitely not going to be good. But yeah, you need him to stay healthy, and thank God he was able to shake that off.
What's a dumber rule? And Michael Chesterman in the chat kind of making my brain tick on this one. The delay of game penalty of flicking the puck over the glass, or the offside review when the goal's like 30 seconds later.
Ooh, I got to go with the offside review. I think the delay of glass one makes sense. You throw it over the boards and
all good. I knew you were gonna say that one, but I think it's the other one, man. I think that or wait, no, you think the offside review is worse? Yeah. That's where I would have gone to. I think that the delay of game one's more frustrating. You think? Actually, I don't know. They both suck. Get them both out of the game. Let us know in the comments, because you know what? That's worth a poll, because hey, the poll that we've got running right now, it's not even close.
Right?
It's not even close.
Oh, okay. Who's got
it? Close. It's a goalie friendly show. 40 saves. Let's go. Corpy's got 80% of the vote. Brady Tkachuk has 11. Claude Giroux has 5. And Other has 3. But Martian, you know why? I think it's pretty, clear that it's Joonas Korpisalo. This was the first game that a Senators goalie has played consecutive games all year. So the boys in the locker room are going to rally around that and be like, "Okay, we want someone to grab the bull by the horns." Forsey was great in his first 2 games, not so much in the last one. I think Corpy gets it tonight.
Okay, I like that choice. Yeah, I think the boys got to give him that vote of confidence too. So I kind of slept on the idea of giving it to Korpisalo there, but I think I'm with you now, Ross.
Okay, so we're ending that poll and we're putting up the other one that's kind of put a B in both of our bonnets, because both of them happened tonight, right? JBD takes that penalty for delay of game puck over the glass. But then take me through your thoughts. Like, This one, I know it was so far down, but I love when a 2-on-1 then creates extended zone time. How awesome is that? Where like, yeah, they miss on the initial chance, but then everyone's flying around, crisp passes, and that's what happened. Ultimately, Ottawa does put the puck in the back of the net, but it gets called back on that entry. Brady Tkachuk maybe a millimeter offside. It looked pretty close, at least from the angles we got, but I'm not throwing my arms up. I think it was offside at the end of the day.
Yeah, I actually noticed it on the entry itself, but I said, "Oh crap! If they score here, it's going to end up being an offside review." And sure enough, that's what ended up happening. So I wasn't surprised at all when it came back. But yeah, I do love those, basically full pressure situations where they're able to, generate offense off of just like cycling the puck after a 2-on-1. It's beautiful.
It's so good, man. So hey, that to me was a big part of this game. Is how was Ottawa going to respond after that no goal? And the next big play was Dominic Kubalik from Ridley Gregg and Matthew Joseph. And Ridley Gregg, like right off the zone entry, like he gets the puck from Matthew Joseph real quick. And then after that, bang. We get to see, a cross ice pass, and Kubalik makes no mistake. So a huge night all around. I think one where Ottawa learned some lessons. It was far from perfect, and there's going to be a lot to discuss from this game. And with 4 days off, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't think one game is going to change the entire likelihood of changes being made overall.